Now we'll probably push back to the end, right? It's one information violation. Yeah, but I get it. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. I hear it.
No, I just have to pin her to the screen here. Ready, Commissioner.
Thank you. Good morning. This is the time set for the 5 a.m. calendar on April 25th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on today's calendar. I'll call you each one at a time to the podium, and I'll provide a second name to sit in the chair outside of the room. If we could start with Ms. Calvert to the podium and Mr. Armando Rodriguez to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Good morning, Your Honor. It's Jalissa Calvert, July 3rd, 1990.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like we are here today on a new Superior Court case. It does include 1 count of fraudulent schemes, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of theft control of property, a Class 2 felony, and 1 count of fraudulent use of credit cards, a Class 5 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference May 1st at 8:30, an evidentiary hearing May 2nd at 1:30, and a preliminary hearing May 5th at 8:30 a.m. At the time of this offense, which was August 23rd, 2024, you were out on felony release from a different felony case that was pending at that time, and because of that, you will be held non-bondable today. The hearing set on May 2nd at 1:30 is the time set for your attorney to present evidence to the court to determine if bond should be set on these charges. All of this information will be included in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Mr. Armando Rodriguez to the podium, and Mr. Roger Belknap to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Armando Rodriguez, 1986.
Can you repeat your birth date?
1986, July 7th, 1986.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you have 2 cases on the calendar here this morning. One is a failure to appear bench warrant for some drug charges you have pending. I will affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you and set an arraignment hearing on May 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. In this case, you do have a secured appearance bond of $1,000. You're also here on some new charges, and it does include 1 count of dangerous drug possession and 1 count of narcotic drug possession, both a class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. In this case, you'll have a status conference May 1st at 8:30, an evidentiary hearing May 2nd at 1:30, and a preliminary hearing May 5th at 8:30. Because you were out on felony release at the time of this new offense, you will be held non-bondable on your new charges. Your hearing set for May 2nd at 1:30 is the time set for your attorney to present evidence to determine if bond should be set. So we talked about that failure to appear case you have, and you do have a bond on that case. I would recommend waiting to post bond to find out if bond is going to be set on May 2nd at 1:30 on your new charges, because even if you post that bond, you'll be held until at least May 2nd on those new charges. Did you have any questions, sir? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No.
All right, thank you so much. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Roger Belknap to the podium.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Just one moment. Tommy, for case number 14, Aaron Pruitt, is that the attorney that's appearing in person?
No, that is one of our virtual appearances.
Okay, thank you. Aaron Pruitt to the chair, please. All right. Good morning, Mr. Belknap. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Roger Belknap, 6484.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here today on a direct complaint that was filed. It is for an offense date of January 5th, 2025. It includes 1 count of criminal damage, a class 5 felony, 1 count of disorderly conduct with a weapon or an instrument, a class 6 felony, and 1 count of disorderly conduct noise, a class 1 misdemeanor. I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you, and you're going to have a status conference May 1st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 5th at 8:30. On this case, you have a cash-only appearance bond of $200,000. If you post bond, you have written conditions of release. It will include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. You may not possess any weapons, and you must obey the terms of any order of protection that has been issued or is issued in the future. All of this information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions, sir?
Did you say the 5th?
Yes, the offense date is January 5th, 2025.
I apologize. I meant that there was a court date on a 1st and a 5th. Is that correct?
Yes, that is also correct. May 1st and May 5th.
Okay. And does the court see any reason to review the bond amount at $200,000 cash is kind of a lot for those, for the things that were listed?
So the information in your case has been sealed, so I don't have access to the underlying facts. Your attorney will get that information, and so once that information is available, you can discuss with your attorney about asking to have that reviewed. But because that's been sealed and I don't have access to it, I'm not inclined to change that this morning.
I understand. Does that vacate the calendar for any other previous charges?
I did take a look at that because it does look like you were seen in this court on January 12th, and the offense date on that is January 11th, 2025. So it does not appear that it is the same set of facts just based on the dates.
I understand that. If I could clarify, what I mean is, for those set of facts, I have a court date on the 15th, and I'm asking if those dates have been vacated because of these new charges.
Let me double check. I don't believe so, because it does look like they have opened a second set of charges against you. And so let me just double check on that other case that you had. Nothing in here is indicating that they vacated the upcoming hearing on May 15th in that case. So it does look like you have two cases pending. And so you will have different bonds and different hearing dates. And the May 15th on that case appears to still be going forward.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Can I have Aaron Pruitt to the podium? And Ryan Lillian to the chair. Good morning, sir. Could I please get your name and date of birth?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Aaron Pruitt. I was born July 18th, 1994.
Thank you so much. And can I get counsel Mr. Beller's appearance?
Good morning, Judge. Mark Beller from the Weingart Law Firm on behalf of Mr. Pruitt, who's present in custody.
Thank you, counsel. And do I have the state on the line?
Yes, Your Honor. George Kellerman from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. We're here today on a new Superior Court case. It does include one count of leaving an accident with a death or an injury, a Class 2 felony, and one count of aggravated assault with a serious physical injury, a Class 3 felony. Mr. Beller, are you here to discuss probable cause, release conditions, or both?
Release conditions, Judge.
Thank you, counsel. The court is finding probable cause. I also did notice that the entry of appearance is a limited entry of appearance, so I am going to go ahead and appoint counsel to represent you for future hearings. If you do end up moving forward with hiring private counsel, they can enter an appearance, and that will alleviate any orders I have made. But as of right now, you only have a limited entry of appearance, so I want to ensure you do still have counsel at the next hearing. Your next hearing will be a status conference May 1st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 5th at 8:30. Next, we are going to discuss your release conditions. Mr. Kellerman, would you like to put the state's recommendation on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is an instance of road rage, and typically the most dangerous forms of road rage are when there are gunshots actually exchanged between the parties. The Form 4 in this case indicates perhaps an even more egregious form of road rage. Mr. Pruitt chased the motorcyclist victim off of the 101 and onto city streets. According to Form 4, the motorcyclist positioned himself on a sidewalk on the east side of 88th Avenue. Mr. Pruitt drove across opposing lanes of traffic up onto the sidewalk and used his vehicle to strike the motorcyclist. The report also says that after he did so, he actually got out of his vehicle and confronted the victim lying on the ground before departing the scene. He didn't do any of the things required by law, such as rendering assistance, calling for aid, or providing any identifying information. He simply fled. So the state considers him an extreme danger within the community. The state's requesting bond of $150,000. State does not object to that being secured appearance. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. And Mr. Beller, would you like to put your request on the record?
Yes, Judge. Based on the reading of the Form 4, we would agree that this is a road rage situation, but every other fact in this case is simply testimony from the victim. As far as we know, there's no witnesses in this case, which we would expect if this happened on a busy street. Facts as we understand them, that this was just an accident. It's unfortunate, but it's not as egregious as it would indicate based on the Form 4. My client's a 30-year-old man. He's lived in Arizona all his life. He lives with his family here. He works in healthcare. He has no allegations of substance abuse in this case, and he obviously has retained counsel, Judge. So we think a $10,000 bond is reasonable. He is not a flight risk. He is not a threat, and we're confident that the facts will show that this was just an accident.
Thank you, counsel. So when setting bond, I do have 15 factors that I do have to take into consideration. And that does include the nature and circumstance of the offense charged, evidence that the accused poses a danger to others in the community. It includes the weight of the evidence against the accused. And when I was reviewing that information and reviewing the Form 4 that was provided for purposes of this hearing only, when I was reviewing whether or not probable cause should be found, I do believe that there is a risk and a danger to the community based on the information that has been presented in the Form 4. And for those reasons, I am setting a secured appearance bond of $75,000. If bond is posted, you will have written conditions of release you'll need to comply with. It does include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses, and you are not to possess any weapons. All of this information will be included in your paperwork. Did you have any questions, Mr. Pruitt?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork.
Thank you, Judge.
Can I have Ryan Lillian to the podium and Aaron Gerlach to the chair? Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Ryan Lillian, August 31st, 96.
Thank you, sir. It does look like we are here today on a probation violation warrant. Oh, excuse me. Counsel, can I get your appearance for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Adam Feldman for Mr. Lillian.
Thank you. And do we have the state appearing on this case?
George Kellerman from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. Good morning again, Your Honor.
Thank you for both appearing. We are here today on a probation violation warrant with allegations that terms 4 and 21 have been violated. In this case, you do have an attorney that has entered an appearance. It does indicate that you will be appearing for future hearings. Is that correct, Mr. Feldman?
Yes, Judge. I represented him from the beginning of the original case throughout, so I'll continue representation.
Thank you, counsel. I'm going to go ahead and set a probation revocation hearing on May 1st at 8:30 a.m. in the downtown court on Jefferson Street. Next, we're going to go ahead and discuss release conditions. Counsel for the state, did you want to put the state's recommendations on the record?
Yes, Your Honor, George Kellerman. The warrant in this case was issued 2 days ago, and Judge Boreski has set it in the amount of $25,000 cash. The state requests that the initial appearance court simply affirm that probation violation warrant bond. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kellerman. And Mr. Feldman, would you like to put your request on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. I would submit that we do not need a bond. There's no risk to the community. We've been handling this and dealing with this with Judge Boreski and the prosecutor's office since the inception. Mr. Lillian has severe autism and other disabilities. He has an IQ just about, if my memory is correct, 76 or 78. Probation is very difficult for him, but he's trying his best given his limitations. And more importantly, I don't know the last allegation within the petition to revoke, but over the last month, at least, since we last met with Judge Boreski, Mr. Lillian and his psychiatrist, they've amended his medication regimen, which has drastically improved his situation. So this is not a situation where somebody's blowing off probation or doesn't feel like it. I mean, there are biochemical reasons why we are here. But hopefully with the new psychiatrist prescription, we're on the right path. It's frustrating that we're here with a petition to revoke. All parties, including the state and defense, have really been walking with this case in probation, which is unusual. So this really doesn't require or shouldn't require a bond. He's appeared at all court hearings. He does so with his parents. So if the court is inclined to set any bond, I would ask for $2,500, more as a token than anything else, but certainly appearing to court has never been an issue for Mr. Lillian. Communication, appearing at any of the probation meetings, those have never been issues. All issues really have more to do with his mental health, and we warned the state and the court and probation about this early on, but here we are.
Thank you, counsel. It does look like some of the allegations in the petition to revoke do address some concerns as recently as April 15th, 2025. Because Judge Boreski is the one that has been hearing this case, he's currently presiding over this case, and he felt like a cash-only appearance bond of $25,000 was appropriate. I am going to affirm that bond. If bond is posted, there will be written conditions of release to include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Did you have any questions, sir? Mr. Lillian?
No.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lillian. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Can I have Aaron Gerlach to the podium and Nicole Strong to the chair? Good morning, ma'am. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Good morning, Your Honor. It's Aaron Gerlach, 10/14/88.
Thank you, ma'am. And counsel, can I get your appearance?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Dominic Cleese with the Law Office of DM Cantor on behalf of Ms. Gerlach.
Thank you, sir. And can I get the state's appearance?
George Kellerman from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you. It does look like we are here today on a grand jury warrant. It does have an offense date of February 29th, 2024 and March 16th, 2023. It does include one count of taking identity of another, a class 4 felony, and one count of custodial interference, also a class 4 felony. For today's notice of appearance, it does indicate that it is a limited notice of appearance, and so for that reason, I am going to appoint counsel to Ms. Gerlach for any future hearings. If you do end up hiring counsel, they can always enter their appearance, but I do want to ensure that you have an attorney representing you at your next hearing. Your next hearing is going to be scheduled for an arraignment hearing on May 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. Next, we are going to discuss your release conditions. Counsel for the state, would you like to put your recommendation on the record?
Yes, Your Honor, George Kellerman. This is a grand jury warrant that was issued about a year ago. Excuse me. The state would request that the initial appearance court affirm the $10,000 secured appearance bond on the grand jury warrant. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. And counsel for Ms. Gerlach, would you like to put your request on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Defense is requesting that Ms. Gerlach be released on her own recognizance. The charges are not violent. She does not pose any danger to the community. She's not a flight risk, and she does not have any previous failure to appear in any matters that I know of, Judge. She was unaware of the pending charges until she was picked up in California. They set the fugitive justice hearings. She did attend those. She didn't fail to attend the first one on the 30-day mark. While there, she surrendered herself. She did agree to be extradited to Arizona to resolve this matter. Additionally, she's retained private counsel for the purpose of today. I expect she will retain moving forward as well. And for those reasons, Judge, I would ask that she's released on her own recognizance.
Thank you, counsel. Counsel, as you are aware, anything with a grand jury warrant has been sealed, so even I do not have access to the underlying facts here today. And the judge who did have that information felt like a bond of $10,000 was appropriate. And for that reason, I am going to affirm the bond at a future hearing when more information is available to the court. You can request that that be reviewed again, but for purposes of today, I am affirming the secured appearance bond of $10,000. If that bond is posted, written conditions of release will be included in the written orders, and then Ms. Gerlach will need to ensure she attends that hearing on May 2nd to avoid any failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of any bond that she may post. Did you have any questions, Ms. Gerlach?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. And counsel, if you needed to speak with her further, feel free to use that room behind you again.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Nicole Strong to the podium and Larry Barnell to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Nicole Strong, 12475.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a failure to appear bench warrant that was issued for you related to a DUI charge you have pending. I will affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you and set a status conference May 1st at 8:30 in the morning. In this case, you have a cash-only appearance bond of $7,500. If you post bond, you have written conditions of release. It does include not possessing or consuming any alcohol. You will need to ensure you attend that hearing on May 1st to avoid any future failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of any bond you post. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions, ma'am?
Your Honor, may I please request consideration to be released under supervision through the preliminary court, because I need to be able to provide for my nephew that I'm caring for. I need to be able to provide, you know, my means of living. I need to be able to provide possibly having the resources to have my own private attorney to best represent me and, you know, give me the best chances to, you know, bring this issue to a close finally. But I can't do that if I stay locked up. That's not going to help the situation at all, me or the courts, because I have to be out in order to work, to pay for all of these things. Regardless as to what the outcome is, it's going to cost something or something substantial. And how am I going to be able to do that if I'm not able to be out I'm requesting to be, you know, under supervision in order to do that? So I'm begging and I'm humbly asking for your reconsideration to allow me to do that.
It does look like this warrant was issued over a year ago and has been pending since then. And there has been no steps taken to resolve this pending issue regarding a fairly old charge from 2018. And so for that reason, I am affirming the cash-only appearance bond of $7,500. If you'll please step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork.
May I ask one last question? So
Sure.
What happens to me in the event if I'm not able to post that bond? Then how does that proceed for me?
So you'll meet with your attorney on May 1st at 8:30, and you can discuss with your attorney making an additional request at that time for the bond to be changed.
Understood.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Larry Barnell to the podium and Sergio McDonald to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
1103 Larry Barnell, 1981.
And what year were you born?
1103 1984.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant with allegations you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing May 1st at 8:30. I am affirming the secured appearance bond of $5,000. If you post bond, you have written conditions of release to include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of this information will be included in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork.
Okay.
Mr. McDonald to the podium, and Mr. Carter Augustine to the chair. Good morning, sir. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Sergeant Matthew McDonald, 05/28/1996.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you have 4 cases on the calendar, and they're probation violation warrants with allegations you violated terms 3, 4, 5, and 15 of your probation. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing May 1st at 8:30. In one case, you have a bond of $2,500. In another case, you have a bond of $1,500. In the third case, you have a bond of $750, and the fourth case, $250. That's a total bond of $5,000 between all 4 probation cases. If you post bond, you'll have written conditions of release to include contacting your probation officer within 24 hours. All of this information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions, sir?
No.
All right, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Carter Augustine to the podium, and Mr. Gomez to the chair. Good morning, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Sir Carter Augustine, 07/09/2004.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant with allegations you violated terms 5 and 15 of your probation. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you, and you'll have a probation revocation hearing May 1st at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $2,500. If that bond is posted, you have written conditions of release to include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of that information will be included in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
I was wondering, I need an advocate for most of my things. Never mind. Sorry.
So you will have an attorney. If you feel like you need something further, I would recommend talking to your attorney about any additional requests you have. You will meet with that attorney on May 1st.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Mr. Gomez to the podium, and Mr. Martin to the chair. Good morning. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Mario Gomez, October 2nd, 71.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant with allegations you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing May 1st at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond of $2,500. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release to include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Martin to the podium, and Ms. Fuller to the chair. Good morning. Could I please get your name and date of birth?
Justin Martin, 03/27/2003.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you have 2 cases on the calendar. The first one is a new Superior Court case. It does include 1 count of criminal trespass in the 1st degree of a residential structure, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of theft control of property, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference May 1st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 5th at 8:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond of $1,500. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release to include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. You also have a warrant coming out of the Surprise Municipal Court related to a charge of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. In that case, I am going to appoint counsel and set an arraignment hearing in the Surprise Municipal Court on April 29th at 1:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond of $1,000. So between the two cases, it's a total bond of $2,500. You will have written conditions of release in both cases. You'll need to double check the date, time, and location. Your new charges are out of the Superior Court on Madison Street, but then you will also have a hearing in the Surprise Municipal Court. So please make sure you check those dates, times, and addresses, which will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Ms. Fuller to the podium, and Ms. Cook to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Bridget Fuller, 5/20/77.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you have 4 cases on the calendar this morning. It looks like we've got 2 warrants coming out of the Apache Junction Municipal Court. It does look like we've had multiple failure to appears. The first one is for an offense date of September 13th, 2024, for 1 count of assault, 1 count of disorderly conduct, 1 count of resisting arrest, and 1 count of interfering with the telephone for an emergency. The second case out of the Apache Junction Municipal Court has an offense date of December 2nd, 2024, and it includes 1 count of disorderly conduct and 1 count of threat. I will appoint counsel in these cases and set an arraignment hearing on April 30th at 8:30 in the morning in the Apache Junction Municipal Court. You have a secured appearance bond of $500 in each of those cases. You have 2 additional warrants on the calendar, and it looks like those are both from the Santan Justice Court. It appears as though one of those relates to failing to pay some fines for a charge of resisting an order of the court, and the second one is a warrant for failing to pay fines. It's actually the same charge, they're just different offense dates. In those cases, I'll appoint counsel and you'll have an arraignment hearing in the Santan Justice Court May 2nd at 8:30 with a secured appearance bond of $50 in each of those cases. So your total bond between all 4 cases is $1,100. If you post bond, you have written conditions of release you need to comply with, and then you'll need to ensure you attend these hearings to avoid future failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of any bond that you post. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Thank you, ma'am. If you'll step to your left. I'm sorry?
Actually, I wanted to say the 2 first warrants for Apache Junction, those were issued, and I got arrested on Tuesday, and I let the officers know. And then when were they? Does it say when they were? Oh, I can't say it the right way. When they were posted.
1 warrant was issued April 22nd of 2025, and the other warrant was issued. They're both April 22nd, 2025. So 3 days ago.
Okay. Okay. That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork.
All right. Thank you.
Ms. Cook to the podium. Mr. Barra to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Hannibal Hazel Cook. I'm 591.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on 2 probation violation warrants with allegations you violated terms 3, 5, and 15. I will appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing May 1st at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $750 in one case and $250 in the other, for a total of $1,000. If bond is posted, you have written conditions of release to include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of this information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Barra to the podium, and Mr. Javier Ambrosio to the chair. Good morning, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Yes, Chris Barra, 11/29/85.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a failure to appear bench warrant related to some pending charges for a couple drug accounts and a criminal trespass charge. I will affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you and set a status conference May 1st at 8:30. In this case, I'm affirming the secured appearance bond of $500. If you post bond, you have written conditions of release. It does include not returning to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. You'll also need to ensure you attend that hearing on May 1st to avoid any future failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of any bond you post. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
That's just if I were to post bond, right?
Correct. If you post bond and then fail to appear at the hearing, then you would risk forfeiting it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Mr. Ambrosio to the podium and Mr. Rodriguez to the chair. Good morning. Could I get your name and date of birth?
My name is Javier Ambrosio. My date of birth is May 29th, 2000.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a failure to appear bench warrant for some drug charges you have pending. I am going to affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you and set a status conference May 1st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 5th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $500. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release. You also need to ensure you attend those hearings to avoid any future failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of any bond that you may post on this case. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
So is the $500 bond on top of the $300 bond, or?
What $300 bond are you referring to, sir?
The one previous.
Were you
Never mind.
seen on another case while you've been in custody the last 24 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, so then if a different judge gave you a bond of $300, then yes, this would be in addition to that bond.
Okay.
Anything else, sir?
No.
All right, thank you. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you the paperwork. Mr. Pedro Rodriguez to the podium and Mr. Walter Cronemeyer to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Pedro Macias Rodriguez Duera,
And can I get your date of birth?
5803.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant with an allegation you violated term 3 of your probation. I will appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing May 1st at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $300 in this case. If you post bond, you have written conditions of release to include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of this information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
All right, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Thank you, sir. Mr. Cronemeyer to the podium and Mr. Brent Mexican to the chair. Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Walter Cronemeyer, 5/17/89.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a direct complaint that was filed for an offense date of December 24th, 2023. It does include 1 count of burglary, a class 4 felony. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set a status conference May 1st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 5th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $500. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release you need to comply with, and then you'll need to ensure you attend those hearings to avoid any failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of that bond. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Brent Mexican to the podium and Miss Rochelle Castro to the chair. Good morning, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
That's on Brent Mexican,
And your date of birth?
6985.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation. Hold on. Let me double check that. Oh, excuse me. It's a failure to appear warrant. I am going to affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing May 1st at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $500 in this case. If you post bond, you've written... Hold on, sir. If you post bond, you have written conditions of release, which include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have a question?
Oh, yeah, we paid the 500 already, and then I've been in a sober living this whole time. And I got done with it, so that was the whole, to get the certification and for the substance abuse.
When did you post $500?
When I got the first time. The
Are
bond
you
was
referring
paid
to in January?
Yeah, I've been in the sober living ever since then. I've been in sober living, so that was the whole thing to do the classes, and I've been doing the classes.
So it looks like you were here on January 10th, and you were given a bond of $250 and a hearing date of January 16th, 2025. And then it looks like you failed to appear at the hearing on January 16th, which is the result of the warrant you're here for today. Why didn't you appear at the hearing on January 16th?
I was still taking classes after the week, and it was their opening. They're called community bridges. So they've been starting their classes, and I missed that day. And then I've been thinking that would trump the warrant because I've been taking the classes, and we've been at the sober living, and we got done with it too. So me and my ex-girlfriend, we got done with this, so I thought that would trump the whole thing. So I'm not really sure how I would have a warrant if I've been doing cooperating with the court by taking the classes and staying at the sober living housing. So that's what we were doing.
So your requirements are more than just those things. It does require you to appear at your hearings. It does look like you've missed 2 hearings since your last hearing date on January 10th, which again is the reason this warrant was issued. So I'm giving you a new hearing date of May 1st at 8:30, and that's a probation revocation hearing. You do need to attend that hearing, even if you are complying with other orders of your probation. You need to attend that hearing to avoid any future failure to appear warrants and risk forfeiture of that $500 bond. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paper. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Your Honor, he's here for Scottsdale for court on that same day.
On May 1st?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I cannot change the date. What's the time of his Scottsdale hearing?
He doesn't say. Actually.
Okay.
Oh, no, we already got that one.
10:30 a.m.
No, we got. They gave me a fine for it. That's it. A $500 fine. That's what they gave me.
So, sir, if you have a hearing date on May 1st with the Superior Court and the City Court, you may want to contact your attorney. The county attorney's number should be in your paperwork. You may want to contact them to see if they can get one of those hearings moved for you. I don't have the ability to move that this morning.
So, would you be able to OR me today so I can get some of the paperwork so I could show you I've been in a sober living and we finished the program? We were in the facility the whole time, and we didn't have no money to come to court and all of this. We were in poverty, so even these guys wouldn't give us no money just to come. So in that case, we couldn't make it to court sometimes because we had no money to. And my girlfriend just recently got out. I had her in a wheelchair, so I've been taking care of her. She got hit. She got hit in Peoria on 43rd. And I've been taking care of her as well, and she's barely back in her scooter, a one-legged scooter now. So I've been dealing with that and then going to the sober living program, and right now she's out there on a scooter. So I'm trying to get back out so I can help her out, because I usually help her out from place to place because she'll get tired and I'll pull her along. So I've been dealing with the sober living and the poverty part about it, where we can't work. We got to take the classes so that we could live there and that's how they get their money. So we finished the program. So now they threw us out into the street. So now I'm dealing with that at the same time. Because right now we're trying to find a place. So it's been hard, and I look like crazy, guys, because we've been out there struggling. And my girlfriend is having, she should be doing her case should be starting pretty soon for her ankle, but I've been helping her through it. She has no family up here, so I was like one of the people she was depending on. So that's what the whole situation was.
So I am going to affirm the bond. I did review the notes from your probation officer. It does look like you were not cooperating, and contacting them is also required since the failed hearing on January 16th, 2025. So the bond will stand today in the amount of $500. If you'll please step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork.
Yeah, but the problem with that was that I was at the sober living though. I've been in that's the whole, to get that, there was just for us to stay in the sober living. And
I understand, but that wasn't your only requirement. You still had to attend the hearing, and you failed to miss 2 hearings since the last time you were in this court, which again is the reason the warrant issued. And so if you'll please step to your left, that concludes our hearing. Thank you, sir.
I didn't catch no new cases and all that, so. But, damn.
Ms. Castro to the podium, and Mr. Biarco to the chair. Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Yes, Rochelle Castro, 7/11/81.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant with allegations you violated terms 3, 5, and 7. I will appoint an attorney to represent you, and I'm going to set a probation revocation hearing May 1st at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $250. If you post that bond, you have written conditions of release to include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of this information will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
I don't know if it shows yet, but I think they posted bond already. Does it show they posted bond?
I don't have access to that. The officers will have access to whether or not bond has been posted. Okay?
Okay.
All right. If you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Biarco to the podium and Mr. Boyles to the chair.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Arturo de Jesus Biarco, 6686.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a probation violation warrant with allegations of violating terms 1, 4, and 7. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you and set a probation revocation hearing May 1st at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $250. If you post bond, you have written conditions of release. It will include contacting your probation officer within 72 hours. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Timothy to the podium and Ryan Quinones to the chair. Good morning. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Timothy Bowl, 7/12/99.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a failure to appear bench warrant that was issued for you related to some pending drug charges. I will affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you, and I'm going to set a status conference May 1st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 5th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $250. If bond is posted, you have written conditions of release you need to comply with, and then you'll need to ensure you attend those hearings to avoid any future failure to appear warrants and forfeiture of any bond. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions? Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. Thank you, sir. Mr. Quinones to the podium and Miss Russi to the chair. Good morning, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Quinones, 5892.
Thank you. It does look like you are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include 1 count of dangerous drug possession and 1 count of narcotic drug possession, both Class 4 felonies, and 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor. For purposes of this hearing only, I am not finding probable cause as to the dangerous drug. However, I am finding probable cause to the other 2 counts. I am appointing an attorney to represent you, and I'm setting a status conference May 9th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 13th at 8:30. I am releasing you today on your own recognizance. That's your promise to appear. You have written conditions of release. It does include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime. You need to ensure you attend those hearings to avoid a failure to appear warrant and risk of being held on a bond next hearing. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Thank you. Miss Russi to the podium and Mr. Apodaca to the chair. Good morning. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Yes, ma'am. Rachel Nicole Russi, September 16th, 1983.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a justice court warrant for failing to appear at a hearing on January 29, 2025, related to driving with a license that was suspended. Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you can hire an attorney at your own expense if you would like to. I'm going to set an arraignment hearing in the West Mesa Justice Court on May 13th at 8:30 a.m. I am releasing you today on your own recognizance. That's your promise to appear at that hearing. You're going to have written conditions of release you need to comply with, and you need to ensure you attend that hearing to avoid any future failure to appear warrants and risk of being held on bond at the next hearing. Did you have any questions, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not from this side of town. I'm from Pinal, Florence, Casa Grande, and I don't have a way to get back home. Is there a way they told because I have to check in with my probation officer in Florence. They told me to talk to you about maybe like a shuttle or something to be able to get back to so I can check in with my probation officer.
Tommy, do we have any forms on places she can contact for assistance?
Yes.
Okay, my clerk is going to get some paperwork and give that to you. You should have access to phones in the back, and with the paperwork they just handed you, they'll give you some additional information for some resources, okay?
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Anything else?
No, ma'am. Thank you. You did awesome.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Apodaca to the podium. Good morning, sir. Could I get your name and date of birth?
Good morning. Yes, Jesus Apodaca, and it's January 26, 1996.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you have 2 warrants on the calendar. The first one comes out of the Casa Grande Justice Court. It looks like it's for a failure to appear. You missed a hearing there. Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you can hire an attorney at your own expense. You're going to have an arraignment hearing in the Casa Grande Justice Court on April 30th at 8:30 a.m. And then your other warrant is coming out of the Yuma Justice Court related to driving with a suspended license. Again, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you can hire an attorney at your own expense. You'll have an arraignment hearing there April 30th at 8:30 in the morning, and that will be in the Yuma Justice Court. You may notice that they are both on the same date and time. Unfortunately, those were the dates that were given to me, and I can't change them, but you also can't make it to 2 hearings at the same date and time. You are going to need to contact one or both of them to see if they will move one of those hearings for you. Let them know that you were given the same date and time for 2 different courthouses. I am releasing you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear. So once you get out, I would make it a priority to start calling those courts to see which one is willing to reset the hearing date and time. Okay, sir?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Any questions?
That's it.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Mr. Gomez to the podium. And do I have an interpreter on the line?
Hello, are you there?
Hello, do I have an interpreter?
¿Habla español?
One moment, sir. Ma'am, are you the Spanish interpreter?
I have to call again, the interpreter from that.
Okay, thank you. It'll be just one moment, sir.
Okay. Está bien.
Good morning. Do I have an interpreter on the line?
Not just yet, Commissioner, sorry.
No worries. Thank you, Tommy.
Okay, Commissioner.
Good morning. Do I have a Spanish interpreter on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you so much. We have one case on the calendar this morning. We'll go ahead and get started. Can I please get your name and date of birth, sir?
Yeah, that's for me or that's for the member?
That's for the
Sorry.
defendant.
Ok. Hola, yo seré su intérprete. Esta llamada puede ser monitoreada por razones enteramente de calidad. ¿Me permite su nombre, por favor?
Edwin Michelle Moroyoki Gómez.
¿Elwin qué?
Michelle Moroyoki Gómez.
¿Tu fecha de nacimiento?
2001, 16 de febrero.
It's Elwin Michelle Mariyoki Gomez, 02/16/2001.
Thank you, sir. And we do have two cases on the calendar here this morning.
Gracias, señor. Tenemos dos casos en el calendario en el día de hoy.
The first one is a new Superior Court case.
La primera es la nueva caso de superior de la corte.
It includes 2 counts of narcotic drug possession for sale, a Class 2 felony.
You said drug sales, right?
Narcotic drug sales, yes, sir.
La primera es un delito de venta de droga nicotina.
1 count of marijuana possession for sale, a Class 2 felony.
Una cuenta de venta de marihuana se le aplica a una felonía, a un delito.
And 1 count of possession of a weapon in a drug offense, a Class 6 felony.
Y una cuenta de 6 delitos por un cargo de arma.
Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you.
Se han hecho cargos y
La pistola es de mi señora. Ella tiene permiso para traer la arma, pero se confundieron y me la pusieron como que yo la traía, pero yo no la traía.
The weapon is my wife, and she has permission to have this weapon. I think they got confused, and they said that it was mine, but it's not mine.
Okay, please wait till the end, and I'll give you an opportunity to speak, sir.
Que espere a lo último y le doy una oportunidad para que hable, señor.
I am appointing an attorney to represent you.
Yo estoy apuntando a un abogado para que le represente a usted.
I'm setting a status conference May 1st at 8:30.
Si tengo un abogado, sí.
Then what? Sorry?
A status conference May 1st at 8:30.
8:30, okay. Se va a considerar lo que es una conferencia sobre lo que es el estado, el día 1 de mayo a las 8:30.
In a preliminary hearing May 5th at 8:30.
May 6, 8:30, okay. Y también va a haber lo que es una audición, una audiencia el día 6 de mayo a las 8:30.
In this case, you have a secured appearance bond of $50,000.
En este momento usted tiene lo que es una prisión, está asegurando lo que es unos fondos de $50,000.
The second case on the calendar is a direct complaint that was filed.
El segundo caso que se reporta aquí es una denuncia directa que se representó o presentó.
And it has an offense date of July 4th, 2021.
Eso es de una fecha de julio 4 del 2021.
It includes 3 counts of narcotic drug possession for sale,
Y esto es sobre lo que es las drogas narcóticas en ventas.
and 1 count of dangerous drug possession for sale.
Y una cuenta de posesión de drogas en ventas peligrosas.
I'm going to appoint an attorney in this case as well.
También le voy a agregar un abogado en este caso igual.
And you'll have the same hearing dates on May 1st and May 5th.
Va a tener la misma audiencia el día 1 de mayo y el día 6 de mayo.
You have a secured appearance bond of $2,500 in this case.
2,500, right?
Correct, sir.
Tiene usted unos fondos asegurados para esta audiencia de $2,500, señor.
If you post bond, you'll have written conditions of release you need to comply with.
What was that one again? Sorry.
If you post bond, you'll have written conditions of release you'll need to comply with.
Thank you. Si usted pospone, tiene condiciones escritas de liberación que debe de cumplir.
And you'll need to ensure you attend those hearings to avoid any failure to appear warrants.
Y usted debe asegurarse de asistir a estas dichas audiencias para evitar cualquier tipo de incoherencias.
As it relates to your comment earlier about the weapon,
Con respecto a lo que es su comentario sobre el arma,
provide any information relating to that charge to your attorney.
debe de proporcionarle lo que es cualquier tipo de información relacionada con dicho cargo a su abogado.
Did you have any questions regarding your release conditions?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta sobre las condiciones de liberación?
Pues iba a preguntar sobre la pistola, pero ya me dijiste que le diga a mi abogado. Está bien, le voy a decir a mi abogado porque yo ni un momento tuve ni una arma conmigo encima, yo ni un momento la tuve. A mí cuando me arrestaron a mí solo. Y pues también de los cargos, pues también le pido una disculpa a la jueza por todo esto que está pasando y la neta pues me siento bien mal, no podía ni comer nada y pues espero que me disculpe y pues seré una mejor persona.
Well, I already spoke to you about the weapons, and you told me to reach out to my attorney, so I'm going to speak to them. I never had any weapons with me. When I got arrested, they only arrested me by myself, and also I wanted to say sorry to you, Judge, for all the charges. I feel bad I haven't been able to eat, and I hope you can forgive me regarding this.
Thank you, sir. I will direct you to step to your left, and they will give you your paperwork.
Gracias, señor. Lo voy a retirar aquí por la izquierda. Aquí le van a dar sus papeles.
And that concludes our Spanish interpreter cases this morning. I really appreciate your assistance. Feel free to disconnect at your convenience, sir.
Oh, thank you. You guys take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. And then, officer, can you let me know when the courtroom has been cleared for the last case?
Okay, we're clear.
Thank you so much. Michael, leader to the podium, please.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Can I please get your name and date of birth?
Michael Leader, 9/24/84.
Thank you, sir. And counsel, can I get your appearance again?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. Dominic Place with the Cantor on behalf of Mr. Leader.
Good morning, thank you. And do I have the state on the line?
George Kellerman from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. Good morning again, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Kellerman. We're here today on a new Superior Court case. It does include 10 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, a Class 2 felony. Counsel, do you intend to discuss probable cause, release conditions, or both?
Release conditions, Judge.
Thank you, counsel. The court is going to find probable cause. I am also going to appoint an attorney in this case due to the notice of appearance being a limited notice of appearance. However, if you do move forward with hiring private counsel, Mr. Leader, they can enter an appearance on this case. You will have a status conference May 1st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing May 5th at 8:30. Next, we're going to discuss your release conditions. Mr. Kellerman, if you would like to put the state's request on the record.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Leader had child sexual abuse material on one of his electronic devices. The state believes that he poses a danger within the community because he is but one step removed from acting upon the attraction he has, sexual attraction he has to children. He also forms the market for those individuals who are actually victimizing the children depicted in such images. So for these reasons, the state is requesting a bond of $100,000. Does not object to that being secured appearance with electronic monitoring is required by statute. No contact with minors, no use of the internet other than for work or school. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. Counsel for Mr. Leader, would you like to put your request on the record?
Yes, Judge. We're asking that Mr. Leader be released on his own recognizance or alternatively to pretrial services. Mr. Leader has no felony convictions. The charges are nonviolent, despite what the state just said. The charges are not a violent nature, Judge. He does not present a danger to the community. He's never had a failure to appear for any matter. Again, no felony convictions. He's not a flight risk. He has strong ties to the community. His entire family lives in Arizona. He lives in Arizona. He works in Arizona. And for those reasons, he does have strong community ties. Additionally, he complied with law enforcement at the time of his arrest, and he will comply with the court dates and all court orders moving forward. Additionally, he's retained private counsel for the purpose of this matter. Given that there's nothing indicating that he would not comply with future court dates, he does not present a danger to the community. Defense is asking that he be released on his own recognizance, alternatively to pretrial services, Judge.
Thank you, counsel. So I do have 15 factors I have to consider when I am setting bond. These are very serious charges that Mr. Leader is facing, in addition to prison mandatory if he is found guilty on any of these charges, which does create a risk for flight. In addition to that, as mentioned by the state, there are some concerns about his risk to the community based on the fact that there is evidence indicating that defendants who seek out this type of abuse material are one step away from acting on that. They are also creating a market for these children who are being victimized in these recordings. And for those reasons, I am going to set a secured appearance bond of $100,000. If bond is posted, he will be released to pretrial services and equipped with electronic monitoring. He will also have written conditions of release to include not returning to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. He may not have any contact with any minor, and he is prohibited from accessing the internet through any electronic means. All of this information will be included in your paperwork. Did you have any questions, Mr. Leader?
No.
Okay, sir, if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. That concludes our hearing. That concludes our 5 a.m. calendar. We will now stand in recess until 8 a.m.